Hello and welcome to another Glenn Maney Talks Chelsea, and today at Stamford Bridge it was Chelsea 1, Newcastle United 0, and I'm not going to go too deeply into it today because, to be honest, Newcastle came to spoil. They done a great job at doing that. Didn't really look like they wanted to win the game at any point. I watched it on Sky because I've been working today, and to be honest, I turned the volume down as soon as Kai Havertz went up for the header with, was it Dan Burn, and caught him with, wasn't his elbow, it was his arm. I turned the sound down because Carragher, who was doing my nutting, old Spit the dog, who was doing my nutting before that with his anti-Chelsea agenda, I thought, I can't listen to this because I knew, I could be wrong because I've not listened to the commentary, but I knew in my heart of hearts that, remember when he said Sadio Mane, when he caught Aspie with his arm, oh well, you know, he goes, that was accidental, there was no malice in it, blah 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 blah. I knew that this time, because it wasn't a Liverpool player, he'd be saying, and I put in the comments if I'm wrong, I bet he was saying, well, it doesn't matter if it's intentional or not, you know, he's not in control of his arm, he should have been off. I'll lay money, I'll absolutely lay money. And I just can't listen to him. I mean, I don't, any bloke that spits at 14-year-old kids, and I've watched the video of it, and it's just that does have a bit of banter with him, and it is banter, he's not slagging him. And well, have a quick look for yourself.
Jamie Carragher there, look.
Stop it.
Jamie!
Stop.
2-1. 2-1. 2-1, mate. Yeah. Unlucky Jamie, lad. 2-1, lad.
You spat on me.
Oh.
Don't.
Oh.
What?
Jamie Carragher spat on my daughter. Nice.
So yeah, that's Jamie Carragher, and Sky, if they want to employ someone like that, then that says it all about Sky, doesn't it? Taking the knee for fairness and equality. Sky Broadcasting. So back to the game. The game was really about us not taking our chances again. We didn't have that many chances, but Kai Havertz should have put a header away. Nice ball in, and didn't connect properly. Put it straight down the goalkeeper's throat. Then Timo Werner, who was having a bit of a nightmare, nothing would stick to him, nothing would come off. He was put through. Finally, a ball that didn't go to his feet, because every ball that went to his feet didn't stick, came off him. Finally, a ball that was over the top, and instead of trying to control it with his foot, he tried to bring it down with his knee. Now, it's worth 50 million quid. Perhaps he can do that, but I've not seen a player do it, I don't think, in my life. So it could have been the first time, but he's running at speed, trapping something with his knee. So it didn't trap, it went straight to the goalkeeper. As I said in a previous video, Timo seems to me to be struggling, and struggling to such an extent with his confidence that he's maybe subliminally just given up, because at the moment he's not offering anything to the side. So just after the hour, 62 minutes, he got booted off for Romelu Lukaku. At least Romelu held it up a bit when he came on. Havertz looked like he thought he was going to go off, but no, it was Werner. And Kovacic come on for Mason Mount, who was having a bit of a struggle today as well, nowhere near his best. And the other substitution, which came a bit earlier, was Pulisic on for Malang Sarr. In a flat back four, Sarr is not a great left back. when it comes to changing to a 5, he's definitely not a wing back. So they brought Pulisic on, and he played wing back, and basically we went to a back 3 with Ziyech reverting to a sort of right wing back, and we started to get at them more, at least more than we did when we had a flat back 4. Other talking point of the game that no doubt everyone would have said was a definite penalty. I mean, hand on heart, it was a penalty with Chalobah, because, well, in my opinion, because he's pulling the bloke's shirt. Bloke made an absolute meal of it, and that's what I think convinced the VAR not to overrule the referee, because the bloke did make a right meal of it. When these players dive, they make a rod for their own back. It's the boy that cried wolf, isn't it? Same as a lot of instances today where they fell over, basically. I mean, even when that burn was down with Havertz, he weren't that injured if he could threaten someone when he's laying on the floor. So pinch of salt time. I knew he was fine. If you're badly injured, the last thing you think of is giving the player that done it some stick. So yeah, the dark arts were at play with Newcastle, but to be honest, they're not much of a side. They're hard working, hard to break down, but they ain't got an awful lot of talent in that side between them, have they? So they did what they could, and probably if Chelsea had the same amount of ability, I'd play like that as well. So yeah, well done Newcastle, made it really, really hard for us, and yeah, the goal a minute before time certainly shut up the you getting Mike Ashley chance, didn't they? Oh dear. Football can be so mean at times, can't it? And so great for the opposition. So yeah, all good. And what a goal it was. Kai Havertz. Well, let's go back. Jorginho. He got that ball, he looked up and he pinged that ball 40 yards right into Havertz's path, and of course that touch to bring it down, and then the one motion poke it past the goalkeeper was one of the best goals that I've seen this season. Absolutely fantastic, and well done Jorginho, who had a really good game. But what a finish from Havertz. Some of these muppets, some of these cabbages that have been saying Havertz sent worth the money, and he's only going to get better as well. He's only going to get better. So we started off with Mendy in goal, flat back 4. We had Chalobah at right back, we had Malang Sarr at left back, and in the middle we had Christensen on the right hand side and Rudiger on the left. In midfield we had Jorginho and Kante, and in front of them we had Mount, Ziyech and Werner with Havertz up front. And as I say, Newcastle just made it really, really hard, very hard working, and it was frustrating. That's the word I'd use, frustrating. Right away, really, until we changed tactics and to a certain extent changed personnel. I thought when Carragher come on, he was a real driving force. Anytime he could drive forward, he did, and that made it hard work for those Newcastle defenders. I think we've got to start trying to play Lukaku and Havertz together, because we've tried Werner and no, the lad's just devoid of confidence and never looks like scoring. So what's the point? What's the point of putting him in the side when he's like that? He's had a good rest. You think sometimes when you've had a good rest you come back refreshed and fired up. I don't know. I don't think Timo's seen a fire the way he's playing at the minute. Sorry Timo, I'm losing my patience. At least last year you were an asset to the team, even if you couldn't hit a barn door. It was shocking today. Sorry mate. So let's get straight on to the players' scores. And Mendy, cracking save. He could only seen it really, really late, and he made a cracking save at 0-0. One of his clearances late on was one of them grass cutters again, one of them golf shots of mine. But that aside, he had a good game, good punch in the air under a lot of pressure from that burn, and that burn is a real lump, isn't it? 6'7". Yeah, Mendy gets a 7 from me. Played well. Chalobah got away with one today, but apart from that, very good defensively, great going forward. One smashing bit of skill that left one of them on their backsides. Chalobah gets a 7.5 from me. Christensen gets a 7. Pretty assertive, pretty good with everything he did. Very understated sort of player anyway, isn't he? But what he had to do, he did well. Rudiger gets an 8 from me. He had me laughing a few times. There's no messing about with him, no prisoners taken. He just makes me laugh. Fills me with pride as well. Some of the runs he did today, they didn't know what to do. You got this centre half just sprinting at you and caused havoc a few times. Did his defensive work great. Rudiger gets an 8 from me. Malangsar gets a 5. Gets a 5. Gave the ball away a lot. I don't know what's gone wrong with him. I know he's a young lad, so I'm not going to get on his case. He gets a 5. Simple as that. Better than he was the other night because you couldn't get any words. In midfield, Jorginho's going to get an 8.5 from me because he had a really good game today. Got stuck in, always available for the ball, and that pass was absolutely sublime that went to Havertz. He put a couple of other belters in for people, but we couldn't do anything with them. But that pass, Jorginho, yeah, he gets an 8.5. Kante, still not anywhere near his best, but covered so much ground, worked really hard, 7.5. Mount gets a 6.5, way below his best today, largely because Newcastle didn't allow him any space. They'd obviously thought he's one of your danger men, and at times he had 2 and 3 on him straight away. They really did play Mount well. I think he was getting a bit frustrated and wasn't really contributing the way we know he normally does. So off he came. He gets a 6.5 because his standards are normally so high. Havertz gets an 8 from me. I thought he had a good game. Defensively, he's improved beyond belief. Tracked back when he was playing right wing back late in the second half, but always looking to play forward. His touch wasn't the best today, but yeah, he had a good game. 8. Ziyech is getting an 8. Have I said that? Or did I give him 8.5? I'm giving him an 8. Good, but early on didn't have his touch, but worked really hard, and that was where I used to score him down, and he's working really hard now. So yeah. And Kai Havertz is my man of the match again. This will fuel the fire with some people who hate him apparently, or just can't see what he brings to the side. But if you can't see it now, you must be Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles or someone, because he today worked hard. First line of defence, couple of touches were absolutely sublime. Left them flat-footed, left one on his bum, and then that finish for the goal. So he gets a 9, and he gets my man of the match. Players that came on, it's hard to score them really. Cover would be up there in the 8s, 8.5 region. And Lukaku, I always call him Lukaku. Lukaku would be around a 7, and so would Pulisic. Worked hard when they came on, did a job for the team. Tommy Tuchel, he gets a 7.5. Now, you know what? With what he's had to face this week, he gets an 8. They were motivated. You could see how passionate he is. I don't think there's a chance in hell that he'll leave Chelsea to go to Manchester United. It's football, so I could be wrong. Money talks. But if we get new owners in the next month or so, I don't see any way that Tommy Tuchel leaves us. Makings of a legend there, the way he's conducted himself during this. Half-time, change things, give a few different problems to him, and bypass that lump Burn, who must have been their man of match. So that's it. That was the game. In other news, it looks like the Saudis are taking pole position to take over Chelsea with their bid expected this week, and Roman had asked his company, to his accountancy company, to look at the details in the bid, and apparently they want to redevelop Stamford Bridge, put in 1.5 billion aside for it, and they'll carry on investing in the team. Looked into them. They're Saudi Arabians, so the human rights violations in a normal world, I wouldn't be entertaining them. I'm a hypocrite. I don't like Saudi Arabia, but if it was between them and the Yanks running my football club, it'd be the Saudis every time. I've done a little bit of research. I don't seem to have any direct links to the Saudi government, unlike the Newcastle bunch. There they are, what they say on the tin. They're a media group, and their turnover is around £770 million a year. Total assets run into billions, but you know, a lot more than Roman's worth. So yeah, let's see what this week brings. It's been a tough old week. It's been a strange old week. But I've not taken any notice of Sky or BBC or any of the newspapers. Oh, Tuchel's leaving. Oh, this, that, the other. Muppets like Spit the Dog Carragher putting their 2 penneth in. Muppets like hypocritical Shearer putting his 2 penneth in. Gary, I'll house the whole of the Ukraine refugees in my back bedroom, Lineker, putting his 2 penneth in. Absolute cabbages, the lot of them. I've not listened to it. I'll just wait and see what actually happens. I'll thank the players. I'll thank Tommy for remaining focused, because that's the first defeat of Newcastle in 10. They needed to be focused today. And I thank Peter Cech and Marina Granovskaya for, and Bruce Buck for seemingly keeping the ship steady in, let's face it, a hurricane-force storm. So there'll always be a Chelsea. As I've said before, I would support them if they were playing up the park, and I know a lot of you would who watch these. And yeah, it is what it is. Whatever ends up happening, we'll be there to support them, and that's the main thing. There'll always be a Chelsea. Right, well, let me know what you thought of the game today. Let me know what you thought of the elbow, the sending off, the Saudi media group possibly being front runners to take us over. Please subscribe to the channel and throw the video a like. It helps my algorithm, and we do like a healthy algorithm, don't we? Okay, that's me. I shall speak to you after the game against Lille, and hopefully we'll have some more updates by then about what's going to happen with the club. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Up to Chelsea.